Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So there's a saying that goes a little something along the lines of better to keep your mouth closed and have people guessing if you're stupid than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Every time this man gets on the internet and opens his mouth, I'm more and more convinced that something is seriously wrong with him. And the sad part is, there are too many men agreeing with this man, but we're going to get into that. This man got on somebody's podcast, I guess it was Joe Budden, and said so many things that I don't even know. Like I said, it makes me scratch my head. Like, where they keep coming from what crevices do they keep crawling with these ideologies? But we're going to break it down. The many things that he talked about in his podcast. Well, for one, so here's the issue that I have. I said this before in the Tyree Nichols video with the guy that made those slanderous comments about black single mothers. It is really tiresome to hear everybody just stigmatizing black women and American women. Like, and I've seen this narrative being pushed before that, like, they really make it seem like American women, especially black American women, are these horrible whores of Babylon that don't want to submit and do right and don't know how to treat a man and don't know their roles and don't want to be wives and submissive. And that's not even the truth. Yes, there's a lot of outside influences like social media that has a lot of young women, going off the rails. But this is not the case for all American women. This is not the case for all black women. And I just get sick and tired of seeing people, especially black people, stigmatizing all black women and all American women like this. They really act like there are no marriageable women in America. And it's really sad. And I'm like, listen, if you want to waste money going over to another country looking for something that you can find right here, you go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. But it's the making it seem like all American women and all black women don't want to be wives and don't want to do XYZ. A lot of women, if you treat them right and love them and respect them, they will do what you want them to. But that's a different story. That's a different video altogether. Now, he did mention a few things that I do think is important to expound on, and I feel like that's what makes it really hard to, sympathize with people who agree with people like him, because they sprinkle a little bit of interesting things and then they say some very outlandish things. And I'm just not here for the outlandish, but he did touch upon how women in America don't know their roles, XYZ, right? And I'm really big on knowing your role, not just in a relationship, but in life in general. God created us all to play different roles in our lives, just who we are. Like, you're a sister, you're a daughter, you're a mother, you're a wife. When you go to church, there's a certain role you play at your church, at your job. I'm very much in agreement with roles. But what it seems like a lot of people in America can't seem to wrap their heads around is that the roles are a bit different here, because this is a first world country and things are not like they are in other countries like Africa and in places like Brazil and the Philippines. Things are different, okay? A lot of couples have to have what's called a dual income, meaning both persons have to work. There are plenty of women, like, don't ever get it twisted. There are plenty of American women and black women who, if they had the choice to not work, they would not work. But first, they would actually have to find a man who they can marry, who they can trust to not abuse them and not take advantage of the power that comes with being the only person who's making the money. Like, I don't think people understand. I don't think some of these men understand. Like, they want women who are traditional wives, which are women who don't make money, who are women who don't have jobs, who are women that stay at home and take care of the home. But these are some of the same men who want women with jobs, who want women to contribute to the bills. They don't want to be the provider, okay? They don't want to be the main breadwinner. They want the women to also have jobs. So it's a, if I have to work, you got to work too kind of attitude. And some of these men, they don't know how to handle being the one making all the money. I don't think people realize that, like, ego and pride is a serious issue with a lot of people. And some people, just like some parents, when they know they have the power to say yay or nay because they're making all the money, it goes to their heads. They have inflated egos and they don't act right. They become abusive, which is why a lot of women don't want to be in those kinds of relationships. Like I said, they would have to trust these men to not become abusive once they realize I can do whatever I want and you can't go nowhere because you don't have money. And some women already feel like there are no trustable men because all of y'all are subscribing to these podcasts like Andrew Tate, who are over here convincing men that it's okay to cheat on women just because they make all the money. So you can't tell them, oh, you need to be a housewife and cook and clean for me and have them totally dependent on you, while also telling them you have the right to go cheat on them because you make all the money. No woman wants to be involved with that. But it seems like to me that's what some of these men want. And that's why some of these women, They're not gonna not have a job, okay? And like I said, because of the cost of living in America, a dual income is going to be really helpful. Some women, if they know that, listen, I'm not about to be living in no raggedy house. I'm not talking about we need to be in a mansion, but we going to have something decent. And they know if they get out and work, they can contribute to that. They're going to do it. Okay. So, like I said, knowing that you live in America where it's not the same, things are not the same, but we can still have roles. You know what I'm saying? Like, if both people are working, and I don't know what's so hard to wrap anybody's head around this again. Like, if both people are working, understand now, y'all are both working. So y'all are both going to work all day, coming home tired. Why in the world would you then put all the other responsibilities on your wife, the AKA weaker vessel for all of you biblical men who like to use the Bible to justify that stupid mess? Okay? And shame on you if you do. So if you have a wife that's working and you enjoy getting that extra money, which y'all do, and I know y'all do, because if y'all was wives quick today, y'all would lose y'all's minds. Instead of making her do everything, if she cooks, you clean. If you're better at cooking, then she cleans. It's called split duties because y'all are both working. I don't know what is so hard to wrap. Like again, I don't know why people can't seem to fathom a relationship that works that way. Y'all are still within your respective roles, with the woman respecting her husband and submitting to him because he's the head of the household, and the husband treating his wife right and loving her like how Christ loved the church, because people tend to leave that part out. Okay? And don't get it twisted, fellas. Submission is not just for the women. It's for y'all too. Before you demand, because some of y'all be demanding it, before you demand submission from anybody's daughter, you need to be submitted to God first and have a vision. Some of y'all are really sad. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but some of y'all are really sad. Y'all are not submitted to God. Y'all don't even have a relationship with the Most High. And y'all are visionless, but y'all are asking for wives that submit and cook and clean. Get out of here, please. Anyways, then he really messed up by saying that basically men are like gods and they don't need women to procreate. First of all, I studied biology, so I know what I'm talking about. That's stupid. And yes, you do need women to procreate. I don't know who taught him that and then released him upon us to plague us with this stupidityness, but they should be ashamed of themselves. And I do believe, and there was another thing he was saying, like, women and men are not equals. And I do understand, like, what he's saying with that. Like, no, we're not equals in the sense that we're the same, because we are very different. Like I said, we have different roles to play: mother, father, sister, brother, son, daughter, whatever. Although that does not mean one is superior to the other, which is what he was trying to make it seem, like that men were superior to women. And that's just false altogether. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Women have their things that they go through that only women can understand and only women can handle. Men go through things that only men go through that they can handle, only they can handle. We're not equal, but one is not more superior than the other. And like I said, another thing, him putting himself on the level of a god, see, that's where he really messed up. And that's where he really had me all the way messed up. He's basically trying to exalt himself. And there was somebody who did that, the devil, right before he got kicked out of heaven. So he needs to be careful, that's all I'm going to say, before he does that. Now, you fellas can listen to him and follow his example and act like that if you want to and get in trouble with the Most High by trying to exalt yourself to a level that you're not and will never be. But that's going to be on y'all if y'all choose to do that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Like I said, he really had me all the way messed up when he said that. And he was beyond wrong. Like, forget all the other stuff. He really, really messed up when he said that. Like, that was just the worst of it all. Like, I would even question him if he said he believed in God, because that's not something that I know for a fact that a man who believes in God and respects God would say. That was some disrespectful mess that he let come out of his mouth. The most disrespectful. But like I said, I hope one day they look back on this. I hope he looks back on this one day and he sees how ridiculous he was. But I doubt it, because these people, they never learn. They never learn. Oh, and another thing that pissed me off real bad. This man had the audacity to say that women can handle more pain, or that they were made to handle more pain so that they could go through all the mess that men put them through, like abuse. Ladies, if any man or woman tells you that, run for the hills, because they are endorsing and co-signing abuse. Just say that you're too raggedy and trifling to do the right thing. Just say you're a no-good bum who wants every excuse in the book to justify you being a no-good bum and treating these women out here like they're trash. Again, I don't want to even see anymore talking about submission and why American women don't want to be with these men when they're up here talking about quit y'all's jobs or don't go to work and get married to a dude, submit, do everything that's right, treat him right, cook for him, clean for him, let him abuse you, and then him thinking that because he's making all the money, he has the right to step out on the relationship and cheat and sleep around and abuse you, and you better not have a body count over XYZ, but he can go and sleep around with all the women he wants to go around and sleep with. That's crazy. Why would any woman want that? And they wonder why these women don't want to be married to them. It's no wonder why. Y'all are crazy. That's why. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Respectfully, don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all be blessed and be safe out there.